I'm going to discuss what is the Rule 130. Number 1 is the object evidence. So basically, ang sinasabi doon, physical object that can be presented in court as long as it can be seen, touched, or examined directly. But as long as it is relevant to the case, so that the court can examine it. For example, murder case, A stabbed B. So the physical evidence or the object evidence is the knife. Since it is related to the case, then the court will examine it. Then documentary evidence, number 2. So documentary evidence, ito yung mga writing or any materials that contain symbols, numbers, words, letters, or other written expression. But as long as the document can prove a fact of the case. For example, ito yung agreement contract. Pinoprove nila yung may nangyaring agreement, parang ganun yung example. As long as it is prove the fact of the case. Say, best evidence rule, original document must be produced. So ang lang naman dito is no evidence shall be admissible other than the original itself. Since we all know that original is accuracy, we can sure that original document is accuracy and it is preventive from forgery or distortion. Exception, for example, dito na yung exception, nawala yung documents, nasira, tas hindi mo na may present din dun sa court. Pwede mo pa rin siyang i-present but as an secondary evidence. Sinasabi dito sa B, you can nasa kabila, opposing party yung original evidence. Tapos hindi pinoproduce dun sa court yung evidence, ang documentary o evidence. Tapos nagbigay ka ng reasonable notice pero hindi pa rin nila pinoduce. Pwede ka magbigay ng secondary evidence. Ito naman sa letter C, yung madaming document na ipapa-examine mo sa court. Since kailangan natin ng fast time, pwede mo siyang i-summary, tapos ilagay mo yung mga result or yung conclusion. Tapos dito sa D, yung public record, for example yung birth certificate or marriage certificate, hindi mo na kailangan ibigay yung mismong original. Pwede mo na siyang ibigay yung copy mismo. Yun yung sinasabi sa doon sa letter D. Dito man, section 4, letter A. So ang sinasabi dito is if the original document is subject sa mga questionable document. Pumunta natin sa letter B. When a document is 2 or more copies executed at or about the same time with identical content, all such copy are equally regarded as original. For example, meron yung may mga 4 na document, parang ganon, pero dapat identical sila para you can treat them as an original document. Parang ganon yung sinasabi. Tapos letter C, when an entry is repeated in regular course of business, one being copied from another at the time of transaction, all the entries are likewise equally regarded as original. So basically, sinasabi dito is during the regular business transaction, a regular course of business, may may entry report. For example, madami yon. As long as dun sa magkadikit yung time, for example 9:30, tapos isang entry report na naman, 1030 or 10. So you can treat them as original document. Parang ganun yung sinasabi dito. Tapos dito naman tayo sa secondary evidence. Yung sinasabi lang ulit dito, kagaya yung sinabi kanina, pag nawala yung original evidence or nasira at hindi mo siya may present sa court, pwede mo siyang ipasa yung secondary evidence. But you can pero kailangan mo siyang i-prove na exist yung original document. Tapos kailangan mo din siyang explain bakit hindi mo ipasa or bakit nasira or bakit nawala. Pero yung totoong na sinasabi mo, hindi yung dishonesty. Tapos may prove mo sila pag magbigay ka ng copy of the document or the details of another authenticated document, tapos testimony. Basta yung testimony yung may knowledge dun sa document na nawala, nasira, o yung hindi mo present sa court. Dito na tayo sa section 6. So dito na sa section 6, yung basically sinasabi ulit dito, diba, yung nasa opposing party ulit yung yung original documents, tapos hindi nila pinoproduce. So nagbigay ka ng reasonable notice para i-produce nila to, pero ayaw nilang i-produce pa rin. Kailangan mo siyang i-prove na yung original documents na yon existed, para pag na-prove mo na yon, you can produce ang tawag na ito secondary evidence into the court. Section 7, dito yung section 7. So sinasabi sa section 7, public record, and sinabi ko na if it's a birth certificate or ang tawag na to marriage certificate, hindi mo na siya kailangan i-send sa court or i-present sa court yung original documents. Yung original na mismo yung birth certificate mo. Pwede mo na siyang i-present yung copy lang, parang ganon. Section 8. Dito naman sa section 8, yung sinasabi dito is, diba, tawag nito, nasa opposing party yung original document ulit. Tapos nung nagbigay ka ng notice, tapos nakuha mo yung original document, tapos in-inspect mo, hindi siya pabor doon sa kaso mo, wala ka nang hindi mo na kailangan it is not obligated na i-present mo sa court. Pwedeng hindi mo na i-present kung hindi siya pabor sa kaso mo. Okay, let's go to the testimonial evidence, which is the section 20, which talk about witness. And yung sinasabi this, all person who can be perceived and perceiving and can make their non-perception to others can become a witness. Which is basically ang sinasabi, all person can be a witness as long as they can feel, touch, or hear and express about what they see or experience in clear and understandable way, they can become a witness. Pati yung mga religious or political belief, yung mga taong may belief and political stance does not affect their ability to become a witness. Pati yung interest in the case, yung mga taong may interesado sa ano yung outcome ng case, pwede pa rin silang maging witness. Pati yung ex-convict or PDL, pwede silang maging witness since it does not affect their ability. They can still hear, see, feel, and can express their experience in clear and understandable way. Section 21, disqualification by reason of mental incapacity or immaturity. Yung sinasabi yung buong section 21, yung mga mental incapacitated individual, yung mga taong may mental condition, hindi sila pwedeng mag-testify since they cannot express hindi nila kayang express yung mga sinasabi nila, yung yung mga nakita nila or yung mga na-observe nila, hindi nila kayang express in clear and understandable way, kaya hindi sila pwedeng mag-testify. Yan, children with low mental immaturity. Ito naman yung mga batang hindi nila iniintindihan, yung hindi nila kayang express yung mga nakita or experience nila because of their immaturity. Hindi sila pwedeng maging witness or they cannot testify. And section 2, disqualification by reason of marriage. Dito na yung husband and wife lang dito. So for example dito, ang tawag nito, yung husband nakasuhan ng theft. Doon, hindi pwedeng mag-testify yung wife doon dahil it's protect the confidentiality and trust inherent in a marital relationship. Pero may exception naman. Dito yung exception, tawag nito, may divorce annulment or division of property. Doon na pwedeng papasok yung wife na mag-testify. Pati dito yung sinasaktan, di ba, yung vowsy, sinasaktan yung wife, yung husband. Since kailangan nilang kailangan nilang malaman yung anong nangyari, pwede na doon mag-testify din yung wife. Pati yung yung nakita ng yung anong tawag nito, yung wife na sinasaktan yung anak nila. And pwede pa rin doon yung wife, pwede siya mag-testify doon. Siyempre, kailangan niyang protektahan yung kanyang anak. Sa Section 23, disqualification by reason of death or insanity of adverse party. So basically, ang sinasabi dito is that if a case involved someone who is died or mentally incapacitated, the opposing party cannot testify about the events or interaction that happened before the person dead or insanity. So ang explanation dito is si A nag-file ng kaso kay B about dahil sa utang, pero si B recently passed away. So lahat ng napag-usapan ni A and B, lahat ng interaction or mga sinabi, agreement before namatay si B, hindi pwedeng i-testify yun ni A kasi nga hindi kayang hindi kayang mag-defend si B kasi patay na nga. Sa example dito naman sa insanity is that A files against B na sinasabing na pinapromise ni B na ibibenta niya yung property niya sa kanya kay A, pero biglang nabaliw si B. Kaya yung agreement na sinabi ni A, yung agreement ni na A and B, hindi niya pwedeng i-testify yon kasi nga hindi na pwedeng maka-defend ulit si B kasi nga nabaliw. Section 24, disqualification by reason of privileged communication. Yung number 1, yung A is between the husband and wife, kaya yung sinabi ko kanina, yung explain ko kanina na a spouse cannot testify if there is a criminal, yung nagkakaso yung husband, pero may exception yung sinasaktan yung wife or may divorce or sinasaktan yung anak. Sabi naman yung about sa attorney and the client. So dito, hindi pwedeng mag-testify yung attorney, yung lahat ng narinig, nakita, hindi niya pwedeng yung mga in-advise ng attorney, hindi niya yun pwedeng i-testify. Pati yung mga kapanadian, yung secretary tapos yung staff. C, doctor is about the doctor and the patient. Gaya yung sinabi ko kanina, lahat ng nakita ng doktor naman, yung narinig, lahat ng mga information na niya, natanggap, yung mga in-advise niya, hindi siya pwedeng hindi niya rin pwedeng i-testify yun. D yung marriage premister and the confession. Dito yung premister, hindi niya pwedeng yung i-testify yung mga narinig niya rin, yung mga information, lahat na nakalat niyang information, during in the professionalism, pati yung mga doktor at attorney, as long as it in professionalism way. Ano yung number letter E, public officials. Yung a public official cannot disclose confidential communication made to them during their officials duties if doing so would harm the public interest. Number 2, testimonial privilege. In section 25, parental and filial privilege. So basically sinasabi dito banda, no one can force to testify as a witness in the court against their parent, grandparent, children, or grandchildren. For example, yung child tinawag as witness, and yung child pwede siyang mag-refuse as a witness against their parent. Kagaya naman yung similar to the parent, she cannot be forced to be a witness against their children. They have right to refuse. So, dito naman tayo sa testimonial knowledge. Ang ibig sabihin nito is the witness should have personal knowledge. Meaning, the witness has first-hand experience of the facts. And the knowledge came from their own sense. Yung so, hear, smell, touch, or taste. Pero ma-exclusive naman tayo dito. Ito yung hearsay. Since alam naman natin yung hearsay is pasa-pasa, kaya according to general rule, is that hearsay is not allowed because it is unreliable and not accuracy. Pero, may exception naman tayo dito. Ito yung dying declaration. Ito yung statement made by someone who believe they are about to die. Yung second is business records. Ito yung if properly authenticated record of a witness can be introduced without acquiring the person who create them to testify. Yung panghuli naman ay yung excited utterance. Ito yung naman yung statement na made in the heat of the moment under stress.